Makeup video for the fall 2023 the CBL project course. I'm recording this video again to introduce what I have done in the fall, and since I'm like delaying the credits for the fall semester. So first, let me introduce what I have worked on. So I've worked on a lot. I've spent like weekly, like 15 hours every week that I create and design the database and implement the database schema. I will show in the further video. And then also I've designed the system for the backend, and I've also implemented the backend for the recruiting portal for the fall. I've implemented authentication for during the summer, and I did for the recruiting portal. I've also made a very great documentation I will show later on that provides help for the future engineers like that they work in this spring, and they found it very, very helpful. And also I've deployed the backend and connect them to the front end, and also deployed the database. So here is like a screenshot of the deployments. On the left side is a deployment of the database that we choose to go for RDS because there are relations between each of the entities, so we go for the SQL database. And on the right side, it's the screenshot of the EC2. So basically deploy our endpoints to the EC2 instance, and we're able to, so the front-end engineer can call the endpoint, and which helps like the switching page or clicking the buttons, like just triggering different endpoints functions. And then here's the data schema. So here we can see that we have 5 entities, like companies is like the B2B users, and the users are actually the users inside our B2B users companies. And the open post is just like the job description for each of the company. It's like job post that we can see that we have company ID as a foreign key. That company have like, this is a relation between company and the job description. And we also, after we have discussed a lot about like application, how we track the application, we decided to go for like application by application, but by not having candidates like profile. This is like making the database as simple as possible for the MVP. And applications basically just a candidate submit an application to a company. And then later on, we also have feedback. We originally planned to add a field for feedback, the feedback as like a field of application, but we choose to go by a separate relation because we found like one application to many user for feedbacks will be quite complicated, and like it's not very intuitive. So we decided to expand the database to have another entity relation, feedback, that user provides feedback to an application. So what I've learned a lot this semester, which provides me a lot of help for me being a future software engineer, in next months. So I've learned about the software structure of a typical application, the back engineer, what back engineer does, and how to connect that to the front end. And also I've learned about JWT token that basically provide, session and also provide security to the backend service. And I've also learned about how to deploy the database and backend and front end and how to connect them. And I've gained a lot of product and project management skill for software engineering. And the last thing I've learned, which is also important, is how to cooperate with the front-end engineer and also with the product manager, which I found the cooperation between this fall was very, very smooth. Several of our challenges that clients expand their needs for database, such as I mentioned, like the feedback, also adding new fields to the database. Like it's always like there's so many things to do with the database, including migration and like new fields, and also aggregations, including counting how many candidates we have for a particular application. This actually comes with a lot of bugs in the SQL. And then in Python and SQL, and also middleware, which is like causing a lot of trouble for like that front-end engineer cannot call our backend server because we haven't declared the middleware. And also I've learned about like hashing algorithm and JWT token, which makes like the authentication more efficient and secure. And last, like how to make perfect endpoints that aligns perfectly with the client's need. And the next step for my work will be a database that, in terms of 2 perspectives, in database that I will hope to connect with the cloud storage, so then we'll able to enable the resume uploads, and also we'll add pipelines to pipe data from Indeed, which will actually make this software works. And for backend, we hope to, for recruiting portal, we hope to incorporate the resume upload features. And for authorization, we hope to add OAuth 2 features and email feature, so that user can use their email to log in, and also can find their password by using forget password features. And for deployments, we hope to use better cloud practice such as API gateways, Kubernetes or containers to help us to scale and secure the endpoints. And that's everything I did. Thank you very much. And here is just quick screenshots of my documentation I've made, which the engineers found very helpful. Thank you.